Brother Akiharho here, and I haven't done this in a long time, but it's definitely going to be more coming because there's a lot of things going out there that I feel as though we, as the younger people, we need to start talking about. We need to put out there in the open, and I've always tried to steer away from the whole racism issue, the police, the brutality, what's going on here and there, but with what's going on, particularly in the McKinney, Texas situation, which is a suburb, not too far away from Dallas, up north from us. I'm here in Houston. One of the things that I'm seeing is that these situations with police and Pan-Africans, and if you know one thing about me, I refuse to call myself an African American. I'm like the Honorable Marcus Garvey, will choose to call myself a Pan-African, meaning I am of African origins from anywhere around the globe. That means Jamaicans, that means freaking Hondurians, Trinidad, Tobago. You can be black from anywhere else, but you're a Pan-African. But anyway, I feel like a lot of this stuff is being directed towards us into such a way it's becoming like, okay, is there a memo that's going out that's just saying, hey, let's just do the whole Rodney King thing all over again. Let's take, for example, this situation up here in McKinney, Texas. All right, so you've got a pool party. 13-year-olds to about 15, 16-year-olds at this place. Okay, and of course, a bunch of Pan-African people, and you know the common misconception, and you know how America is. We are built on stereotypes and all that. So you know how the common misconception is. You get a bunch of black people together, they're going to get loud, they're going to get crazy, they're going to get raucous, it's going to turn into a cookout or whatever other stereotypical black movie that you can compare us to. So obviously, police were called. Not a problem. I've seen it happen before, but the way in which the police dealt with the situation, I had to say to myself, you got two scenarios here. Either you're racist, and I'm saying this to the police, or B, you just don't care about teenagers or kids, because you're looking at a girl in a swimsuit, you're looking at kids running around with shorts and stuff on, and you have to feel the need to act with aggressive demeanor. Like your mentality going into the situation is, oh my goodness, there's going to be a lot of black people here. Let me act the way I normally would act. He's coming at that situation with the same force and intensity that he'd say you would come at that if there was a bunch of grown men out there, like as if I was out there waving around guns and whatnot. Needless to say, these aren't grown men or women. Like I said, 13 to 16-year-olds. So when you are so far into the mentality, and I heard the excuses that they were putting out there, oh, the officer was in the moment, this and that, so on and so forth. Well, soldiers, they train them to be able to understand, all right, we don't just charge in here and just start shooting up everything. And it seems like police are now starting to get into that mindset. Like I said, let's just throw racism out the window for a second here. Let's just say racism wasn't involved. Well, the way this cop came running into the situation, he actually tucked and rolled. If you watch the original video, I'll provide a link for you. Dude tucks and rolls. He's going at the situation full gusto, like he's still in Iraq, like it's ISIS out there, like it's the Taliban out there, like it's Al Qaeda out there. He's coming at these kids, and that's where it's wrong. Like I said, I threw racism out the window, started looking at it as if I was a human being, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, he and the rest of these officers sure are not acting like these are youth here, that these are minors here. And I couldn't for the love of my life figure out, why is that? What is this mentality that's going on in America so much that we forgot to be compassionate? Quis custodes ipsos custodies. Who guards the guardians? Juvenal asked that question thousands of years ago, and it begs, I have to have that answered now. Who protects us from the protectors when they decide to get out of control? And that's the situation that we're dealing with here. As I scroll through and look at these various articles, and they're talking about, like this one, and I can provide the link for that too, is coming from CBS News here. One of the individuals by the name of Bakari, Ajad Bakari, He says they were trying to make us leave, but if we ran, they chased us, and if we stayed, they arrested us. It kind of puts them into a catch-22. I'm pretty sure the officers were like, get out of here, scamper away, run along like roaches and leave the situation. But then the kids that were leaving, they kind of got chased at. So you kind of put them into a, you know, damned if I do, damned if I don't situation here, you know. But it's just, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth to know that this is where the police have gone to. That could have been anybody. I don't have any children or anything along that lines. But if I did have some children, I would be rather upset about this. And I don't care if you're black, white, Chinese, Hispanic. You could be whatever race you are. But we need to start looking at the situation as these are some kids that are being attacked. I see we want to do the race issue. I understand that, whether it be a Trayvon Martin, you know what I'm saying, or whether it be a Baltimore situation, whether it be a Ferguson situation, whether it be a McKinney situation, we are forgetting the one thing here: killing kids. And that should never be right. That shouldn't be right if it was Chinese. It shouldn't be right if it was black. It shouldn't be right if it was white. And it's just a shame that we have to come up with hashtags that say things like Black Lives Matter. Because let's be honest here. Come on. Here's an axiom. Here's a statement of truth that cannot be refuted based upon the reality in which we live in. If this situation would have been reversed with a pool party full of white kids, and we've seen it before. I've lived in Long Island, out in the Hamptons, and I've been invited to many, many parties, and I've had, the police show up, a Southampton police show up. They ask us to leave, and these kids are out here on the beach doing drugs, smoking, this and that. Actually, we weren't even kids. We were like, 18, 19 out here doing this. They asked us to leave. All right, you had your fun. Time to shut the party down. Get out of here and go. And now I see it with some kids even younger, and they don't even ask them to go and disperse, and they just get unruly with them. It's such a shame to see that we've come to this, But in all honesty, Black Pan-African lives, everybody's life matters, and that needs to be said. But right now, I'm rather curious as to what they're doing to police, whether this is going to set us up for a police state or whether this is going to set us up for a civil war or civil distress, but I do not trust it. I will not buy into it. First of all, I choose to not believe that every single police officer out there is evil, despite the fact that they're trying to make it seem like that. Like they're trying to take my trust away from it. Like they're saying, hey, Akeem, we will create situations so that you are in fear of the police, so that you are in fear of the protectors. And that's understandable, but I know for a fact that not every police officer out there is doing shit like this. I saw it in the video. The dude tried to pull out his gun. His white partner stopped him. You can even see that. It was like, whoa, 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 dude. I mean, come on. The kid's here. You know what I'm saying? Put your gun away. So I'm not going to say everybody out there is a dick. But something does not set right with this situation, and that is all that I'm saying. And for the love of God, you got your Bruce Jenner out there, you got your Kim Kardashian out there. You know what? If people want to live vicarious through them, because as we know, sometimes the average person's life sucks, so they try to find excitement through things, whether it be TV shows, athletes, whatever. And Kim Kardashian and Bruce Jenner is just another outlet for that. But while the world chooses to focus on them, including our president, it would be nice for our president to address some of these issues. And the president doesn't even have to feel like, well, he can't address these issues because he's black and I don't want it to seem like I'm favoring one group more so than the other. The president could just address this issue on the basis of the police are acting like they're militarized, like they're coming into Fallujah here. I mean, when you see them in these situations, they come in like soldiers. And you're going to ask yourself, once upon a time, police used to show up and go, okay, calm it down, then use force. Now the police come in already. It used to be innocent until proven guilty. Police show up now as if you're guilty until proven innocent. And that mentality and mindset has got to change. You know what I'm saying? That whole aggressive nature that we live in has got to change, dude. I see it everywhere. Whether it be with the men, whether it be now with the women being aggressive now, it's got to freaking stop. Because if everybody comes aggressive and this and that, then where's going to be the compassion at? Where the compassionate people are going to be at? You know what I'm saying? If everybody wants to just throw little girls down to the ground and whatnot. And also, as I was watching that video, take notice to the Caucasian guy that was standing around and not adhering to the 5-foot police protocol. Stand 5 feet away from the police while he is doing his job, as to not get in and impede with him. Take a look into that. That guy was not standing 5 feet away from the police officer at all. I'd say he was about maybe 5'10", maybe about 280 pounds. He had a big belly, was falling all over, and you can see him with his hand in his pocket, walking around patrolling the area. And not once did the police officer tell him, you need to step away from this situation. I've got this handled like they would any other time. And I noticed him, I'm like, so who are these guys that were standing around the whole time patrolling the situation, and not once did anyone stop to go, hey, never mind that she's black, never mind the race issue, dude, the way you're handling a 14, 15-year-old is quite wrong. Would you, sir, want an older man or a police officer to have his knees in your daughter's back? Let that be the question we ask ourselves at the end of the day. Race aside, do you want your daughter to end up on the ground with another man's knees in her back because he overreacted, because she was being a teenager? The officer acts like he's never dealt with unruly teens before. And then another sad thing that gets to me too, as I'm reading about the residents, and now clearly I imagine that these came from the white or Caucasian Americans that lived in the area, where they were like, well, we don't care. And the officer was just doing his job. They were running and screaming profanity, so he had to do what he had to do. So first of all, I would love for people to understand this. Please look into this law. There is no law stating that a police officer can arrest you for saying fuck you or giving them the middle finger. Look into that. Okay, so what she's saying is that the officer had the right to do basically assault the young girl, use excessive force based on that she used profanity. Okay, so your 15-year-old goes, what the fuck's going on? Shit, fuck, shit, fuck, shit. Does that mean an officer just deserves to be able to throw her on the ground? Does she deserve an ass whooping like that? I mean, look at this. And their high horse, these WASP, these white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, you know what I'm saying, that are mainly, you know, that are predominant in the McKinney area, you know, that are running stuff up there, their mentality is so far gone that they are looking past it and they're going, well, she got what she deserved because she was yelling profanity and she was resisting. So what? A 15-year-old barely resisted and was running her mouth with facts. She should be able to call her mother. She does live in the area. He should have let her go home. If she lives over there, you know what I'm saying? Just let her go. Let her go. You don't have to be like that. And the fact that these adults make excuses for that and go, so what? She got what she deserved. She got what she deserved. So this right here, this heart is empty. So you have no heart, no compassion, no remorse, nothing that allows you to feel for a dude beating up on a young girl. And when I heard the woman on the news saying that, I'm like, holy shit, she's not a real feminist. She's not a real woman she's not a real proponent for women's rights. Because any real woman would put race aside and go, well, how's this guy doing this to a woman? This is outrage. This is terrible. And yet, the woman that was in the interview that chose to not have her face seen was just like, it's okay. Who cares? That's how you know she's racist. She doesn't even care that another woman, let alone another young girl, got beat up by a dude. And it was like, it's whatever. That's where it's sad, people. And I implore you all to wake up and go on out there and start thinking at why the system is trying to drive us apart. And the last time we had a brother that talked about wanting to bring us together, we had a Martin Luther King, and he had a dream, and then they shot him. And not since then have we had anybody that wants to tie us together and wants to bring us together. And every time we get close to it, whether it be even our rap music, that is, you've got white people calling themselves niggers in 2015. Just let that process for a second. I don't even call myself that. I don't even associate with that vernacular. And yet, white people are calling themselves niggers in 2015. Asians is calling themselves 2015. Society is primed for integration together. Society is primed for that, and they see that. And that's why they try so hard to split us, to drive a wedge between the middle, to keep the Latinos angry at the blacks, angry at the whites, angry at everybody else with the superiority complex. And it's a shame that we all can't just come together. And every time I see this, it doesn't make me mad at white people, it doesn't make me mad at police. It makes me want to stand up. And don't go out there and fight with all of that. You fight with a revolution of mind. You don't go out there and you fight with pitchforks and you pick up animals. We are past that. It's 2015, people. You fight with education. You fight by understanding what's going on. You fight by speaking up. No more of that Baltimore nonsense. And the sad thing about Baltimore is that even if they were going to riot, they go and riot in their own neighborhoods where they live and they sleep. Who cares? And when I say who cares, the government doesn't care that you destroyed your own neighborhood. You want to riot and make a difference, you go into the richest part of town where the police know they have to protect, where the WASP stay, and that's when you riot, that's when you protest. And people got it all wrong. You know what I'm saying? Get your Angela Davis and your Huey Newton on. You know what I'm saying? Understand where you're coming from. You know? Read up on your Che Guevara. You know what I mean? Read up on what it means to start a revolution of the mind and the spirit before we just want to start using the fist. And everybody always sees this, and they don't know the real meaning behind it. But we got to stand up and we got to come together, and that's going to take more than just black people, Hispanic people. It's going to take everybody, including white people. It's going to take all of us to stand up and realize that we are in this shit together. We are all on planet Earth, fucked up. I got to eat just like the next white person got to eat. I like stuff just like the next white person likes stuff. And the way shit is going, nobody is going to have stuff. Whether it be white, whether it be black, this country won't mean shit if can't none of us live in it together. So that means you redneck, you're going to have to work with me, and I'm going to have to work with you, and together we're going to have to do this together, because this shit is bigger than America, and they're coming to take America away from all of us. And if I have to work with every Tom, Dick, and motherfucking Harry, and if I have to work with rednecks, and I have to work with, I don't even care. But if we have to work together as brothers in arms to stand up for what we believe in and keep this we the people, for the people, by the people, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And all I see here is an example of how they're trying to tear our spirit down and trying to tear us apart from each other. And it's not right, and I won't stand for it. And that's all I have to say about that situation. It sucks what's going on out there. But we got to stand up, and we got to do this together here. No more of that riots and whatnot. Need to peacefully protest. And I heard the brother say that in the interview for the Fox 4 or whichever news station that they were broadcasting for, that they needed to protest but not do it in a Baltimore way. Please learn from that. Black people, there's a time for action, there's a time for violence, and this is not the time for violence. We are already portrayed sometimes as overly aggressive or overly violent people. We need to show them. If we have intelligence here, we need to show them the days of the Garrett A. Morrison. You know, to show them the days of the Nat Turner, the Booker T. Washington, the Sojourner Truth, the Crispus Attucks, you know, to show them the days of what it meant to have real Pan-African spirit inside. You know what I'm saying? To not let our oppressors hold us down. We are so much more than football. We are more than NFL. We are more than basketball. We are more than your stereotypical movies that you portray us as when you do decide to put us on TVs. We are more than that second fleeting role that just allows us to get killed off whenever you so deem to kill us off for ratings. We are more than entertainment in America. We bleed for this country. We've been bleeding for this country for over 400 years. We've bled for this country. My heart bleeds for America. I am a patriot through and through. I support and I love America. And just because there's an asshole running America, and there have been assholes running this country since after Jimmy Carter, they've all been freaking assholes, okay? It does not mean that I'm not a patriot. It does not mean I believe in America. I don't like Barack Obama. I don't like Bush. I didn't like Clinton. I didn't like Bush before him. I didn't like Reagan and his Reaganomics before him. Okay? But that does not mean that I don't believe in the values of the we the people, for the people, by the people. Behold these truths self-evident, that all men are created equal. All men. And that's all I got to say about that. Brother Akiharho here. There will be more to come. Definitely, there will be more to come. I will go out there and I will do my part. I will speak up. And we've all got to start speaking up against the system. We've all got to do it. And I'm going to do my part, everybody. Brother Akiharho,